Hi guys, here we are in the Virtual Pool 4 lobby, and just to give you an idea, the time of day, it's about 10:15 a.m. in the morning, and we have currently about 24 people in the lobby. We have no tournaments currently running, and well, we do have tournaments, but the last one was cancelled. No one entered, and we also have a ladder lobby. There are no ladder matches going on, and we have a league lobby, which there's never been a league. Now, I have an idea, or I have a couple of suggestions for competition in Virtual Pool. Now, the first one I'm going to show you, if I can get the right screen, is this external website. This is Challonge. It's a website that is free to use, but it also has a premium service as well. But the free tournament setup on this site is actually pretty good and fairly substantial. It's not as complicated as some of the other sites, but it's to give you an idea. Now, I've got a registered account with Challonge, and it gives you the facility to set up tournaments. Now, this wouldn't be, for example, tournaments that would be in competition with the official Celerus tournaments in the Virtual Pool lobby. Although you can set up a specific tournament, like a knockout tournament, and tournaments with set amounts of rounds in them, etc., etc. But the one reason I like this site is because you're not just able to create tournaments. Although it says create tournament, it's a bit misleading. If you go into create tournament, I'll show you what I mean. You can name this tournament. Now, in this case, for the purposes of this video, I'm going to call this 9-ball round robin. Now, for those guys who were around a while back in Virtual Pool 3, hopefully I can type, we had an external website which was set up and run by a couple of guys in the Virtual Pool 3 lobby, and it was a round robin tournament. It was actually predominantly run by Simon, who used to do the league system in Virtual Pool 3, and we actually had a round robin website. Now, for you guys who don't know what round robin is, let's say you have a group of 10 players. They all sign up for a round robin tournament. The idea is that if you play, normally in a tournament, if you play a match and you lose a match, that's you out the tournament, unless it's a double elimination tournament where you'll get a second chance. But in round robin, you will play each and every player in the tournament at least once, unless specified differently. And then the outcome or the winner of the event will be either the player with the most racks won or the most wins, whatever one is going to suit the event. So in this case, I'm going to set up a round robin tournament, and in here you would put information about the tournament to describe it to people, let them know what it's about. So, for example, round robin, we would put in there something like that. Each player, if I can spell, plays each other once in the event. Something simple like that, even I can understand that. And then down here I would put, now this is me being a tournament host, so this is the information that you would see when you're setting up a tournament. Then you put in the information here about the game. Now, in this case, Challonge, I don't think, finds Virtual Pool 4. It finds Virtual Fighter, which is all very well, but it doesn't find Virtual Pool 4, but that doesn't matter because that's only, again, for information. Now we've got here single stage tournament or a two-stage tournament. Now, a single stage tournament is what we want to choose, because that then gives you the choice in this drop down in a little second or two. This other one, a 2-stage tournament, would be like a big tournament, a championship, a world championship. Initially, you would have a group stage, let's say 5 groups of 8 players or something, or 5 groups of 10 players, and these players again would play each other once, and then say, for example, the top 2 players in each group would go through to the final stage, which would be like the World Cup in football, or soccer as you call it in the States. But we're not interested in that in the moment. We're looking at single stage tournament, and if we go to single elimination, or the drop down, we'll see single elimination. We'll also see double elimination, round robin and Swiss. Now, round robin is what we're interested in. Now, participants play each other either once, twice, or you can set 3 times, but that would go on for hours and hours. But we'll put it in for like once at the moment. Now here, you could rank by match wins. Now, match wins won't be accurate enough, because you'll probably find that at the end of the round robin tournament, you could have a tie with one or more players with the amount of matches that they've won. So what you can do is you can actually go down and make it a bit more detailed. So in this case, we're going to make it a points difference. That is to say that each rack you win is worth a point when it comes to the overall count at the end of the tournament. And then you've got the facility here to put in how players will sign up to the tournament. So when it says registration, that would mean somebody like myself would put in the player's name into the tournament bracket. I could host a sign-up page. However, for players to join with a sign-up page, I believe you have to register a name. You have to put in a registration to Challonge and set up an account so that you've got a username and a password. In this case, I think all I would need to do would be put in the name of whoever's going to play. Down here you've got participants require participants to register as a team. You don't need to bother with that. Specify the maximum number of participants. So in this case, we can put in, for example, let's say we're going to put in 8 players. And once that limit is reached, the tournament is ready to go. Then you put in a start time. Let's say, for example, well, this is September the 19th. Let's put it in for the 20th at, now I think this is going to be GMT my time. So let's say 4 p.m. And then, of course, you can set the time zone for your account in your account settings. And then you can go down to advanced options, and you'll get various stuff here. Hide the seed number. Well, you're not going to have any seeds in it. I mean, you can see it goes into a fair bit of detail and what you can put in. You get tie breaks. You can set up that for the end result if the matches are tied, etc., etc. So you can do all of that and then save the bracket. But you would then also have, once the tournament started, you would have a rundown of the current standings once match results are inputted into the actual tournament system. Now, that's one option, to have a round-robin event where each player gets to play each other once. If we look at this other website, this other one's a simple website. It's called fixturelist.com. And I'm also registered here as well. Now, this allows you to create a league. That's basically what it does. It allows you to create leagues. It doesn't allow you to set tournaments like the Challonge website. This is purely for a league. So if we go and look at saved leagues, you'll see that I've got none. So now it's prompting me, do I want to set up a league? So I can then put in league setup. Let's put in 9-ball. I can type again. 9-ball league. And participant type, well, it's either going to be a singles event or a team event, a doubles event, so we'll make it a player. Meetings, once only. No, let's say home and away, so that means that each player is going to play each other twice. The type of fixture, is it going to be a round? Is it going to, like a tournament? Is it going to be a daily one, a weekly one, or just a fixture? So we'll put fixture. And points awarded for a win is going to be, say, 3. Now, in this case, it says points awarded for a draw. Now, when we used to do, we also had Virtual Pool 3 leagues a while back as well. Now, we're talking, what, goodness knows how many years ago that was, but we had a league, and we actually had more than one league, so you could get promoted and you could get relegated. And the matches had to be over a specific amount of racks in order to create the draw option. What I mean by that is normally when you set up a game of pool, you would have an actual rack goal. That is to say, it would be the first to 5 or the first to 7 racks. But in this case, when we had the leagues running years ago, you had to just play a set amount of racks. So, for example, you would play a match where you had to play 11 racks, and that would be it. You would have 10 racks, for example. So it could go to 5-4 to myself, for example, and then you'd have a final rack which you would either win 6-4 or it would end up in a draw. So you had to have a match goal that would allow you to play up to 10 racks. That's an example, and that way you could have a draw at the end of a match. So you could have a win and a draw or a loss. In this case, we'd put down 1 point for a draw, and then you would create the league. And then at the end, once you have done that, you would put in participants, and you would also then allow you, once that's up and running and the league's actually up and started, you could then put in the result and the match score, and this site will then tally up the totals. And at the end of it, you would have a winner of a league. So that's 2 sites where you can use, one for normal tournaments, single or double elimination, or in this case, it'd be used for round robin, and also this site, which you could use for actual leagues. Now, the league site would be quite interesting, bearing in mind that if we look at, if we can get to Virtual Pool 4, we have a league set up here which has never been used. It's never functioned in all the years I've been in Virtual Pool 4, and I've never even seen it tested. And I think the reason the leagues don't work, or the leagues aren't being implemented, is simply because very few, if any, players are playing ladders, and there is very little interest in the ladders, very limited amount of play on the ladders. Tournaments, there's regular tournaments that get played, but most players are on playing challenge matches or normal regular matches in Virtual Pool 4. So the idea I've got is there are 2 sites that you can use to create your own events and have a bit of variation and choice in Virtual Pool 4.